Ouais,
That cheese, super melt. In France, we like having something called menu du marché. So menu du marché means the local market menu, and it usually comes with entrée, plat, dessert, entrée, dish, desserts. And these are the suggestions of the day. Parfait, merci beaucoup.
So beautiful. Je sais.
Today with Théo.
Hello.
We are in the iconic Café de la Paix. It was built in the 1800s. It's like one of the most iconic institutions, I think, of Paris. And honestly, I think it's my favorite cafe to be in. More than Angelina. Let me know if you prefer Angelina or here. And even though like it's very, I would say, upper scale bistronomy, gastronomy, a bit pricey, it's accessible to everyone, which is, I think, really cool because in other places, like these sort of places would not be accessible. I'm thinking of in Asia. This is one of my favorite entrees, even though it's spring / summer. I will still try the onion soup, I think, because and it's a recipe from 1862. That's crazy. They have different types of meat. Wow, they have a vegan option as well, which is great. The caviar of aubergine, eggplant caviar, and desserts. That's for later. Which ones are you tempted by?
For the starters?
Yes.
Maybe the asparagus, because you said it's the season.
That's true, seasonal.
I really like asparagus.
Me too.
Chez le pain signature du Café de la Paix.
Ok, oui, plaisir.
On dirait des nouvelles là. Voici.
Et c'est un pain brioché, c'est bien
fait.
ça. Ah oui,
Le
ok.
pain signature.
Oui, c'est bon.
Alors, si je, par contre,
I love French waiters in France because they always ask you if you want something to drink first. And as we don't drink, we ask for 2 mocktails. Merci beaucoup. Pina colada and virgin mojito arrived. Something I really love about French restaurants is that the waiters and everyone are so attentive, so caring. Like for example, when we were looking at the menu and we were talking about like what to get, and they always give their opinion. They're like, depending if you like fish, you could have this. If you like meat, you could have this. And I really love the attentiveness, the caringness of waiters, and that they're always free to give tips, and that they don't like pressure you to give you any sort of advice, just like really their own opinion. And you really feel like it's a family friendly, like a cozy approach. I really like it. The word in French is bienveillant and attentif.
Aperitif, as we say in French, apéro, but with mocktails.
Apéro at lunchtime.
Yes.
I love it.
I know some people who do apéro like all the time. So
Yeah, you can have apéro even with alcohol-free drinks. Some olives, some cashews, and santé.
santé.
Santé. Oh, I like it. Not too sweet. La soupe à l'oignon, oui, vous la conseillez?
bien sûr, parce que c'est
le-
traditionnel depuis 1860.
Oui, c'est ce que je me dis.
Donc il faut, vous faites bien parce qu'il faut la goûter.
Oui,
Elle est
parfait.
magnifique.
Et pour les plats, on va partir sur le filet de canette.
Oui.
Quelle cuisson plutôt rosé?
Rosé, c'est...
On
Oui,
recommande rosé, hein.
rosé.
Toujours mieux pour le
Oui,
Et aussi le tourne-dos,
Quelle cuisson?
saignant.
Très bien.
mais pas trop saignant non plus.
Je mets saignant plus.
Tu veux un peu
Non,
plus
non.
Saignant, c'est... Non, saignant.
À
Saignant.
point. Non?
Non, saignant.
Saignant, oui.
Fais-moi confiance là-dessus. Tourne-dos, c'est saignant, sinon on prend pas de tourne-dos. Parce que
C'est vrai que c'est... Bon, après, tout dépend. Il y a des gens qui... Bon, à point encore. Quand c'est bien
Ça va.
cuit, non, c'est trop, c'est trop sec.
Ouais, c'est
Sur le fenouil confit, pardonnez-moi. Fenouil confit.
Fenouil
Ça,
confit.
c'est très bon.
Ça va.
Oui, c'est bon.
An orange sauce.
Oh, with the orange sauce? Okay, great.
Très bien.
Super, amazing. Merci. The white asparagus,
And it looks beautiful.
the vegetable of season, and we have the gratiné onion soup.
And this
1862 onion soup, the original recipe, so it hasn't changed apparently. Can't wait to try a recipe this traditional and this authentic.
it looks really creamy, oily. The broth looks beautiful.
Gratiné onion soup. Wow, that cheese though. It's actually one of my favorite starters. I have this in every brasserie, especially in the winter, in the colder months. But this one, the cheese is amazing, and too much cheese. And not too salty, because sometimes it's too salty, but here it doesn't feel salty at all. I really love it. Onion soup, and I would recommend to get this one.
And
to get
what
this
about
dish.
the broth? Because it looks really, really good. Like the soup, it's so good.
It tastes really like onion has been simmered for hours, and they barely added any salt, so not salty at all.
That is delicious. Let's try it. Wait, asparagus.
Let's try the asparagus.
What do you think about it? The white asparagus? You're not a fan?
Not the biggest fan. The sauce is very nice though. I think I would have this sauce with like a salad or some bread, but I feel like it's quite cold and the flavor is not strong enough. And I feel like I love asparaguses that really melt in your mouth and that feel very smooth, and this is a little less the case. So I'm a better fan of the French onion soup. It's gonna make me try raw meat for the first time. No, it's not raw.
It's still rare, but it's not raw.
Yes, it's rare, it's cooked, but the inside is quite pink red.
Yeah.
And so what are all of the different styles of cooking meats in French?
First you have the bleu. Bleu means it's really seared on the edge, but it's still raw inside. It's good for the beef, especially. Also the veal. Then you have saignant, which is like rare. It's still pink, but it's cooked. Then you have à point. It's like medium rare. If you don't really like the pink meat,
I think if you're not sure,
If you're not sure about the cooking, you say à point, it's good. And then we have like well done, bien cuit, but this one usually...
Théo does not like this one.
No, in the restaurant I know how they did it. Like they really take the steak and they flat it on the pan to cook it like evenly.
And it tastes very like...
It's really dry and it's like destroying the meat. If you want to eat like beef that is really cooked for a long time, you need to try like the bœuf bourguignon, like the beef in the sauce. When it's cooked in the sauce, you can cook it for 12 hours. It's delicious.
Question to you is, how do you prefer your meat? You prefer it bien cuit, à point, or bien cuit, well cooked? À point in English is medium rare, and bleu is undercooked, so it's very red. Like they just cook the outside, and Théo is introducing me to this type of cooking because growing up in Asia, I never had this type of cooking.
To eat like raw fish.
Oh, that's true.
Raw fish. So where's the problem?
Ici, tous les plafonds sont d'époque, d'origine, et ils ont été restaurés par l'école des Beaux-Arts, de nombreuses fois, ce que j'ai connu. C'est quand même un site qui est répertorié, pas classifié, répertorié au niveau historique.
The waiter came to tell us a little bit about the history of the institution of Café de la Paix, and he's actually been working here for what, 20 years? 20-something years.
29 years.
29 years. The waiter gave us a recap of the history, and he mentioned that this place, this hotel, and the cafe is classified into protectionists of cultural heritage. So it means that they can't do everything as they wish, and they also we can't destroy it. Like we need to keep it. And I think this is something that really fascinated me and inspired me, like living in France and living in Paris, is I feel that's a part of the reason why culture is so rich here, because the country and the people, they do the maximum to be able to protect places like this, to protect museums, to protect monuments, to protect statues. And I think it's just very fascinating that we can learn so much from France, and that it's not in every country, and so people here shouldn't take it for granted. And that we should appreciate the culture that's all around us and all the laws that were put in place to be able to protect beautiful places like Café de la Paix.
Oui, posez le...
Wow. We have the tourne-dos. It's the most tender part of the beef fillet. It looks amazing. It's apparently going to be quite red inside, bloody,
Yes.
just like Théo likes it.
You will see, it's delicious.
duck breast, which is a little rosé. So it's going to be a little pink with the orange pieces.
Which is really undercooked, still raw inside. Le
Wow.
bœuf, ça se mange comme ça. Là, ça va.
I'm not used to red meat. Very tender.
You see, I told you, it can be so tender if it's
It melts in your mouth, and yeah, I really like it. I thought it would taste very raw and have a very strange taste, but just very soft, very delicate.
Even the juice smells delicious.
Duck, but the way that I usually have duck is in duck confit, which is the duck that is cooked for hours. And this is the duck that is normally cooked, right? It's the normal.
It's cooked like a steak.
It's cooked like a steak, so I've never had this one. It feels like butter.
I told you.
Wow.
I told you this is the best temperature for duck, for beef.
Initially not a fan of red meat, but I think today changed my mind.
You see. Seriously, it's incredible the texture because it's like butter of duck.
So as a first timer for ordering something that is a little more rare than usual, because usually the maximum I say is à point, medium rare. I never go anything more than that. I think in France it's really worth it to try it. And I think like you shouldn't be afraid. And worst case, you can always like ask them to cook it a bit more if it's a very nice restaurant.
To come to another country is also to try other food that you don't usually have. If everyone is eating something, it usually means that it's good.
Dishes we had.
It was really good. The main courses were incredible. I thought it was like just a classic brasserie, but no.
No, the dishes were really excellent, honestly. I don't think I've ever had duck cooked in that way, and I didn't have meat so rare before. Not rare, but
It wasn't rare.
it wasn't rare, but it just melted in your mouth, everything. And I think we had no problem finishing it because we wanted more with the little sauce béarnaise too, the cherry on the top. Delicious. And we still have space for dessert.
Of course.
Oh, beauties.
Là, c'est très beau.
The desserts just arrived. We have the classic crème brûlée and the classic millefeuille. And what are all the layers? We have a layer of flake pastry, right?
Yes, it's like pastry, really flaky.
Flaky, yeah. And then we have cream,
Really crisp.
vanilla cream, yeah. And then we have a little bit of caramel to put together. Usually I'm not the biggest fan of this dessert, but let's see.
Oh, let's go. Looks beautiful. It's the good one.
Amazing.
Do you feel the vanilla? Sometimes it's a bit too light.
It's super light. I feel the vanilla and really the crunchiness on the top. I think it gives the sensation of a perfect crème brûlée. Out of all the crème brûlées we tried, we made another video, which is the brasserie video. You can see it up here. And this one, I prefer this one.
Ooh, yes. Oh, it's easy to cut.
This dessert I'm usually not a fan of because usually the cream is very heavy and I'm not sure how to feel about it. It's so flaky, so let's try. I love the cream.
You see.
The cream is very delicious, but I'm still not sure what to think about so much flakiness.
Yeah, you don't like the mix of the cream and the flakes?
I feel like flaky things for me are mostly salty.
Oh, okay.
But interesting. I really love the cream, the vanilla cream. I think we were both very surprised from Café de la Paix. Like I was not expecting these type of dishes, and also such a welcoming like impression from the waiter and all the staff. Really felt like we were at home. It was so cozy. We were even able to speak with someone on the table next to us, and really taking our time. Like no pressure about what you should get next. About like, oh, have you finished or nothing. I really love the atmosphere, and I think it's really great even for a cup of tea and to have lunch and to have dinner. Cozy ambiance, and it feels like we took a trip in the history of the 1800s in Paris, which I love. This still remains one of my favorite cafes, I think, of all of Paris. Now more than Angelina, to be honest. It used to be Angelina, and now I think it's changed my mind.
I don't understand people who will prefer like the Café de Flore or the other famous cafe, because this one, it's definitely more expensive than others. But you feel the quality with the waiters, with the place that is beautiful. It's like eating inside a monument. Even if you just come for a drink, it deserves the try, really.
Well, now we're gonna go ahead and finish the desserts. Last stage of the meal. It was really such an amazing place. Also want to thank the Café de la Paix team for inviting us today. It was really great. Really hope that you can come here when you come to Paris. If not to eat, also to come for a coffee or tea. Let me know in the comments if this is a place that you would love to visit in Paris. Merci beaucoup, à bientôt et
À demain.
pistachio macaron on the house.
Pistachio? It's not pistachio, it's lime.
Really?